it represents domestic medicine. And that's why I chose citrus peel. I wanted to bring back this element that we are in charge of our own health based on the foods that we eat, and that herbs are not separate from foods. And I really feel like citrus peel is exactly that. So I'm always looking to, how can I improve digestive function? How can we increase nutrient absorption? Citrus peel just targets that really, really well.
Welcome to the Herbs with Rosalee podcast, a show exploring how herbs heal as medicine, as food, and through connecting with the living world around you. Well, chances are you've thrown away medicine this week without even realizing it. In this episode, I'm joined by Heather Luna to talk about citrus peel, the part of the orange most of us toss into the compost without a second thought. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why that peel deserves a place in your daily cup of tea, how it warms and supports digestion in a way many bitters don't, and why herbalists past and present have treasured it for the lungs and the heart. Heather also shares a recipe from her clinic that's so delicious people eat it by the spoonful and come back asking for more. It's the kind of episode that will change how you look at a simple bag of mandarins. If you enjoy this episode, please give it a thumbs up so more plant lovers can find us, and be sure to stay tuned until the very end for your herbal tidbit. Heather, I'm so thrilled that you're here with us. Thank you so much for being on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, well, this has been a long time coming. We've been scheduling it for a while. So I'm excited that we're finally here, finally making it happen. And I'm really excited to hear your plant story and how the plants have called you onto this path.
Oh, wow. Well, how the plants called me onto the path was one thing, and then how I got to be where I am now is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think the plants called me when I was a child. I don't know where it started, except for I had one key moment in my early years where I had someone pull off an aloe vera leaf and put it on my scabbed knee when I was about 5 years old. And that moment went, you can do that? That's a thing? Are you serious? And that was the light bulb that I think just changed my reality, and it shaped the path that I would walk for the rest of my life. Yeah. And then I remember somewhere, I was always a gardener. My family was always into plants. My grandmother grew orchids. There was always some kind of element of working with plants in my life. And then I got to be a teenager, and I was like, I'm going to seek out this herb thing. Like, this is a thing. I'm going to seek it out. And of course, I started reading like Rosemary Gladstar and doing what I could to get self-educated at a very young age. I remember going off to college and looking for herb classes, thinking that was going to be a thing. I'm like, where do I learn about this? I thought, this is what I'm supposed to do. Where is it? So I ended up taking classes in horticulture and whatever, but it wasn't what I was looking for. So to my father's dismay, I dropped out of college and joined herb school. It was like, I just, shunned the family. Yeah. And I originally went to one herb school. It didn't work out there. I ended up moving to Colorado and going to herb school there, and did full 3-year training, became a clinical herbalist by the time I was in my early 20s. And the plants guided me the whole way. I just never had a doubt that this is what I was meant to do. After I finished herb school, I went right into practice. I also started teaching pretty early. And had a daughter, I was like, I got to practice all the tricks when you have a little kid. And things that you would never get to practice on a client, right? You're like, oh, let's try this. And then somewhere in my mid-20s, I moved back to California, which was where I was born and raised. And I started, new town, new community, started to try to get myself out, teaching some classes and some herb walks just to get, see if I could drum up some business and start a new career path here. And I did for a while. I was just started teaching classes in my living room and got a few clients just here and there. I started practicing massage because it was a great way to get your hands on people and talk about herbs simultaneously. And then sometime, it's probably 2014, I got sick with chronic Lyme, and it was like, that was like a major learning experience in my own path.
Yeah.
I was bedridden for 2 years. I was trying all the herbs. I was doing everything. I was doing things that were supposedly right and they ended up not working. And so I really had to find what worked for me through that whole chronic disease illness. And I think that my coming out of it, coming on the other side, I did get 100% well, and I no longer have any Lyme and I'm completely symptom free. But my path through that was, I think, the most important part of my education,
Wow.
the most critical part of my learning what really works. It's not always what the book says. You sometimes have to try things, and knowing your body's different or whatever. And of course, through that, the people knew, I was an herbalist in the community. They knew I'd recover from Lyme. So then, of course, I got the, people asking me about Lyme. So I started to change the way my practice worked, and I really started tunneling on chronic disease. And so I think for the next couple of years out of my own healing, I really focused on that. And that's what really grew my clinic. It was through my own illness that, like, all of a sudden my practice opened up. All of a sudden I realized the thing that people needed wasn't just herbs. It was that they needed education. And it's like, okay, well, I can't tell you like what to take unless you understand how and why to implement this and why is it important. And when you get the understanding and the knowledge, then you apply things a little bit differently. You get more of that holistic approach, and it's, anyway, so that's basically what started me running my school. So I opened a school. I had my clinic opened up. I started a school, and I've been now doing that work for the last 10 years. And it's a kind of a long journey, but I really feel like that middle piece there around my healing from Lyme was a big like graduate training for the clinical herbalist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I've been practicing for 25 years. I have no intention of stopping. The plants are certainly my guides the whole way.
So you still have your practice and your school, or is it mostly your school now? Or?
It's mostly my school now. So people come to me all the time when I see they can see me privately, and I'm kind of, I have a couple of people I keep on my, I've been working with them for a long time, so I will continue to work with them, but I don't take on any personal new clients. I do think it's important for me to keep my hand in the game because I am now training clinicians. So I kind of have to know what they're going through and how they're managing. And so now that I do run 3 different programs and a clinic I'm training clinicians and supervising their cases. So it's a lot of work, and I don't have a full busy private practice like I used to, but I like to keep my toe in the game so that I am constantly learning because it never ends.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. And also just what you said about feeling the need to be a source of education, not just in order for people to be successful. It seems so important to herbalism because we aren't giving out pills. We aren't take 2 of these, call me in the morning, right? That's not the simplicity of herbalism, for better or for worse. I'm wondering if you could expand on that anymore, because that really piqued my curiosity of just maybe what does that mean in real life? How does the education someone get then translates into them better able to take care of themselves with herbs?
Well, it can be as simple as teaching them how to brew tea. You don't just hand them a bag of herbs and say, take this. No, it's a practice, right? It's not just 1 cup of tea. There's not one thing that you do. It's the little things you do every day. So coaching someone on how to brew tea, how to get all the nutrients they need in their diet, why is it important to do this? And I think the why becomes the motivator for people to be willing to make change. If you don't give them the why, then they're like, yeah, okay, that's cool, right? But if you give them an understanding of, well, gosh, these plants can really help us, but if you take them in a certain context and you understand how the herbs work, you're now more motivated. And that's, I think, the piece that people need. They need to know the why.
There's a certain level of empowerment too, I think, when we take on ownership of understanding the intricacies and not just the passivity of doing what someone told me to do.
Absolutely. Well, and And really, if you go back to the roots of it, that's our job as healers, is to be educators, where even if you're just working one-on-one with people, you're educating them about, how the body works, how plants work with the body, how your life, how your food, how your sleep all plays a role in the path of healing. And when they are empowered with the knowledge and they understand the concepts, they're like, oh, I want to be a participant. And that's really like you said, it's empowerment. It's we are educators. That's the original word for doctor, is to be a teacher. Not that we're doctors, but that we educating our clients, we're teachers. And I think that's really the most important thing about being an herbalist, is that we're teaching people how to heal themselves, because you are your own healer. I can't come over, brew that tea and pour it down your throat. You have to.
That's true. That's so true. Hey there. Just a quick note. If you'd like to hear from me in a more personal way, I'd love to have you in my free text community. I send a couple of texts every week, things like behind the scenes updates, herbal thoughts that I'm chewing on, and little sparks of joy I don't always share anywhere else. To join, just text the word ROOT to 1-509-383-8398. And if you ever want to break up, no hard feelings. Just text STOP to the same number and you'll be opted out immediately. My goal is to make it so juicy and so fun that you look forward to getting my texts each week. Okay, now back to the show. Well, Californian, you've chosen citrus as your herb for today, which is lovely. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I always like to ask, just why did this jump out for you as what you wanted to focus on for this episode?
I chose citrus because, well, not just because I'm a Californian, but because it represents domestic medicine. It's food. It's something that's in everybody's homes. It's often discarded. Like, we eat the fruit and we throw away the peel, and the peel's got like medicinal parts. So there's many aspects to citrus where you certainly can use the fruit, but it brings back to this food as first medicine, and using herbs as foods. Like, eat your herbs, make it a part of your daily practice. And I'm a really firm believer, from having experienced it in my own health and in many, many cases and in my student body, that it's the things we do every day, the foods that we eat, it's the little things we do that make the biggest impact. And so something like citrus peel, which is in our homes, that we can just use, other herbs similar, like corn silk, like those are foods, the food as part of the medicine. And I think historically, if you go back and look at the old literature, you didn't see herbs separate from foods. You would see in the old books, like even back in Hildegard von Bingen, herbs and foods side by side in the Materia Medica. And that's why I chose citrus peel. I wanted to bring back this element that we are in charge of our own health based on the foods that we eat, and that herbs are not separate from foods. And I really feel like citrus peel it's exactly that.
I love it. And it's something, like you said, that is so often discarded and so easy to like take up. All right, so I'm excited to dive in. Where would you like to start in terms of how do you like to work with citrus peel?
I use it actually quite a bit, more than most people would expect. People tend to think of it as a mild herb. It's like, okay, you can, whatever, make something taste good. And that's actually not true. It can be very bitter. But I work with it in many, many ways, and I use it in all kinds of formulas. I use it primarily as a digestive aid, and that's probably the first most primary way that I'll apply it. I put it in gut healing teas, actually. I'll put it into various gut healing formulas. I make powder formulas, and the recipe I'm going to share today is a food-like recipe, which has citrus and rose hips together. For multiple reasons, but citrus improves digestive fire. And that's one of its key elements. And I think that today most people have an issue with digestion at some level, and digestion really is the root of all health. If something's not right in the digestive tract, it's going to reflect in other parts of the body. So I tend to focus a lot on healing the digestive tract. It's one of the target tissues for health. And so what I love about citrus peel is it actually increases nutrient absorption through two mechanisms. It's it's aromatic. Everyone can smell. You can taste and smell citrus. It's sweet. It's lovely. It's aromatic. It's warming. And it's also a little mood uplifting, which brightens people. But it's also got a bitter profile. And so that combination of the warming carminative plus the bitter is really specific for warming the digestive tract. And one of the things I like to use citrus primarily as a bitter because it's not too cold. There's a big push in herbal communities to use a lot of bitters, which they're great, but the digestive tract is actually supposed to be warm. And it needs to be warm to assimilate food and to function properly. So I'm always kind of wary of like, hey, not too much bitter. Bitter is good, but like let's balance it with some things that are warming and carminative. And so because citrus peel has that duality, if you've ever just taken a chunk of citrus peel, I mean, and it can depend on what species of citrus. Experiment with mandarins or navel oranges. And we're talking about the orange variety from mandarins to clementines to navels, but the mandarins themselves are a little more bitter in their profile. They still have the warming aromatics, whereas navels are a little sweeter in their profile with less bitter. So you can moderate that. But I love to add citrus peel to teas. It's one of my, every gut healing tea gets a little pinch of citrus peel in there usually. And it's because it has that duality of carminative and bitter. So it's mixed, it's complex. Those two actions together warm the digestive tract and act with bitter properties, but we call it an aromatic bitter. So it's not too cold, right? And it helps actually at the surface level of the gut to improve nutrient absorption. And I think that's a really big thing today. Nutrition is such a key fundamental determinant of health. Ability to absorb what nutrients we get from foods, down nutrient deficiencies being prevalent in the food supply, not just, by food choice. So I'm always looking to how can I improve digestive function? How can we increase nutrient absorption? And citrus peel just targets that really, really well. And it's, it's like free. It's like everywhere. Just go buy yourself a bag of mandarins and peel them.
Yeah. Hey friends, it's Rosalee. If you've been nourished by this podcast, if it's helped you feel more connected to the plants or more grounded in your own herbal path, then I'd love to invite you to join the Herbs with Rosalee podcast circle. This special membership helps make the podcast possible. It supports everything we do behind the scenes, and it gives you a chance to go even deeper with the content that you love. Inside the circle, you'll get exclusive herbal resources, live classes each season with some of my favorite herbal teachers, and a private space to connect with fellow plant lovers. It's where the heart of our herbal community continues to grow. To learn more and join us, visit herbalpodcastcircle.com. Your support means the world, and it helps this podcast continue to bloom. Well, let's talk about that real quick, because there's two things that come to mind with that. One is that people are often familiar with using the zest versus the peel. So I was hoping you could be very specific about that.
Thanks for making that point as very important. We want the whole peel. If you take the whole peel, now the zest is just like the orange part that you would take on the outside. Actually, if you take the whole peel, there's the white side and the orange side. They have a different spectrum of phytochemicals in them. Flavonoid constituents mostly. There is more bitter on that white side, and then a little bit more of that aromatics is on the orange side, but there's also different antioxidants that are in both sides. So the whole peel is what we would really like, ideally. So peeling that orange, tearing it up into little bits, or I use scissors to cut it up and lay it out to dry. What's in the orange side is certain flavonoid constituents. I got it right, I think it's mostly hesperetin, and there is some quercetin in there, which are anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. And then on the white side, I think it's rutin. I might have some mix up there because I'm pulling this out of my memory bank. But anyway, all three of those are combined with both sides of the peel. And the idea there is these are important nutrients. They're not just, they're antioxidants is what we think of them, but the flavonoid compound that's in both sides, and there's actually a more concentrated antioxidants on the white side than on the outside. So we want them both. But those flavonoids improve tissue integrity, elasticity of the blood vessels. They actually will tone and nourish the respiratory tract. They're important for connective tissue, and they help to moderate inflammation. And it's like everyday food stuff, like let's just make candied citrus peels and make it a regular snack,
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what your like practices with this. Like I can just I have this image now of you having your orange for the day and then like cutting that up and just like some like constant orange peel drying going on, and then that just gets tossed into whatever your teas, as you're mentioning, grind it some up for powder.
It is an ongoing practice. Yes. The bag of mandarins comes in, and around here in California, we have a distinct citrus season, but it does kind of go on for a while. So during citrus season, it is non-ending. We have the bag of mandarins, on the counter, and then there's an empty basket on the counter. And it's whenever you peel a mandarin, you throw the peels into the basket. That's just how it goes. And then I periodically go through the basket. It's kind of like my chore of the day. Like, okay, did I break up, because the peels are kind of whole and they don't dry well whole. So I got to go through there and pick up the whole peels, and I get my scissors out and cut them to little bits and then spread them out so they'll dry evenly. And then, once they're dry, I got to pull them out and make room for the next wave to come in. So it is a constant tending, but it's easy.
Yeah. I buy in the wintertime during citrus season, I buy boxes of mandarins from California, have them shipped up from a farm. Nice. And so I have that same kind of concentrated effort. What I find is that I save a lot of the peels, dry them and everything, but I always have so much left over. I use them, I put them in vinegar for cleaning. I just really like to do that. And then I don't know, I think I just use them here and here. And right now I'm just feeling really inspired of I should just be throwing orange peels in every tea I make, like my morning tea that's just for funsies, and every tea, much less a specific digestive tea. Just throw those babies in. I should go through them, stop collecting them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's, a daily tea for citrus peel, we all need extra flavonoids. It's a daily practice. We all need a little extra digestive support. We all need a little bit of cardiovascular tone, inflammatory relief, all of the things that citrus peel does. It's not limited. And I actually put it in a number of different formulas. I put it in teas. I do powder it as well. And I'll just powder it and stir it into honey. And that's just spoonfuls of yummy citrus peel honey. And actually, that's a very nice mood booster, by the way. You kind of feel bright and yummy and sunny after you have some citrus
Which
peel.
Is nice in January, when it's citrus season.
It is. It's really nice. I also make citrus peel into syrups. Citrus does help improve elasticity and tone for the lungs. Actually, in Chinese medicine, they say it supports lung qi, citrus peel. And so I put it into a cough syrup remedies. I'll make a citrus thyme cough syrup. I also make a formula called gut flora food, which is prebiotic starchy things with burdock powder and citrus peel powder. And that's another wonderful way to use it. I actually put it in one of my better formulas called Respiratory Rescue, which is for heavy lung stuff. And there's a bunch of other expectorants in there, but I feel the citrus peel is a carrier. It adds and augments, and it can round out just about anything. So yeah, I could go on and on because I do use it a number of ways, but I think the point is that people should just use it more.
Yeah. I'm feeling inspired for that. Both as you're saying, oh yeah, sure, when digestive stuff comes up, when respiratory stuff comes up, but yeah, also just in a daily practice.
A daily practice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now Heather, let's talk about the recipe that you're sharing with us today.
So the recipe, actually, we use it all the time in my clinic. We call it the flavonoid bomb. I didn't know that the general public would understand that, because again, you need education about flavonoids to understand why that's cool or a good thing to do. So I renamed it for this purpose as the Rosehip Citrus Jam, which that sounds more like anyone can get on board, right? Oh, that sounds yummy, right? And it is really yummy. It's now I was talking about citrus peel and its flavonoid content, and flavonoids being important in moderating inflammation, for tissue integrity, elasticity of the lungs and the blood vessels. And it pairs so nicely with rose hips, because rose hips are another spectrum of flavonoids. And I think the two together, so I think that's kind of the core of the formula is the rose hips and the citrus together. And they do so much. It's not just supporting, cardiovascular health or respiratory health. The two together actually contain pectin. And pectin is really cool because it helps the microbiome support as far as nourishing and replenishing. You actually need a certain amount of pectin for a healthy microbiome. So both rose hips and citrus peel have those, and they're both flavonoid rich. So it's delicious. It's like yum. So this recipe essentially started many decades ago now, when I had taken some rose hips just by themselves and I had put them in a bowl and I just poured a splash of orange juice on them and let it soak overnight. And then, the rose hips, those crunchy little hard shells, they just plump up and they get soft and it turns into like jam. And you just like eat it with a spoon. That's medicine. It's not just food. That's medicine. Let's eat it by the spoon. And it was so delicious. And then I was talking about it with Paul Bergner and he took it and ran with it. And he says, well, maybe you could throw in some like citrus peel chunks and maybe you could throw in some goji berries or you could throw in other flavonoids or what about, so it's a loose recipe. You can augment it however you want. You can throw goji berries in there if that feels good to you and you have them. But just simple rose hips and citrus peel together. And you can put them in a jar or bowl and you can pour some blueberry juice over it to augment the flavonoids, right? You can pour just a squeeze of some lemon juice because that's augmenting the pectin profile and more flavonoids. So you can play with it. And then of course, you can't stop there. You add a little bit of cinnamon or a little bit of cardamom or a little bit of both. And now you've got something that's more like a chutney and it's really delicious. It's the best medicine ever. And we dispense them, I actually dispense them in our clinic and we'll just dispense the little bag of like the mixed herbs in a pouch and say, take this home, put it in a bowl and pour some either, citrus juice or some blueberry juice over the top of it and let it soak and eat it. And
pomegranate.
Pomegranate. There you go.
This is exciting. I'm really into this.
The options are endless and you can play with it. And the goal is to like eat the whole jar. And people do. It's so delicious. They'll just eat the whole jar. And then you're like, but then you feel really satisfied and nourished afterwards. And you're like, wow, I guess I got my flavonoid antioxidant hit for this week. And now I'm good. And anyway, it's.
I love it. I love how simple you make it for folks to just send them home with a bag of dried herbs that they can hydrate. Oh, it's lovely.
Exactly. Yeah. Just add juice.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this recipe. I have no doubt it's going to be popular. And I love hearing from folks when they've tried the recipe. So when you try this recipe, let us know, hit us up in the comments, email us, whatever. We want to hear about it. And you can download your recipe card by checking out the link in the show notes, or you can head over to herbswithrosaleepodcast.com. We have a beautifully illustrated recipe card with this, which will be another inspiring reason to make this yummy, yummy treat. So thank you so much, Heather.
My pleasure. I'm so glad to inspire people to eat their herbs.
Yeah, I love it. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about citrus pill before we move on? One thing I wanted to mention, do you have a take on whether people should prioritize organic versus non-organic?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's actually a huge deal when it comes to citrus, because citruses are very much sprayed. So I do recommend organic. And I don't even think about it in my personal paradigm because it's like I just go to the local orchard and I get organic. And but for most people, it is a huge issue. And you don't want to be there. Citruses in particular are heavily sprayed. And if you bring them home, it's just washing the peel is not enough. They actually saturate into the peel. So you definitely do want to make sure you're getting organic citrus peels, organic oranges. If they taste a little funky like chemicals, it's probably because there are less chemicals on the peel. So organic is probably it's a safety issue. I would only recommend organic.
All right, thank you for
that. And the thing I will add about citrus peel, which is another reason I chose it for this talk, is that it's really safe. It's really doesn't have any contraindications. It's safe with any constitutional type. It's even safe for people taking medications. And I think that's an important thing when we're talking about herbs to the general public, is to make sure that this is something it's safe, it's food, it's eat it. So there's no contraindications that anyone has to worry about.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for mentioning that as well. And yeah, for sharing all of your orange citrus love and knowledge. And I'm feeling this is like the problem with having this podcast is that every single episode I'm like, oh, I need this herb like really badly now. But now what's nice is that I have all the citrus that I dried this year, and I'm feeling really inspired to like maybe make that the jar that I have of it closer to my tea making station so I can just more readily put that in.
Yeah. I'm curious how much citrus peel do you end up at the end of a season?
Oh my gosh. No, it's been like that before because I order boxes of mandarins and I'm like, why throw any of this away? I keep all of it. And, but over the years I've gotten less, like right now I have like a pretty good sized jar. So
nice. Yep.
Yeah. I also make, I love to make bitters with citrus as well, but then I'm generally using the whole fruit fresh and I'll just like cut up the whole fruit fresh and put that into my bitters blends. But
you can just take the whole citrus and bite into it, like an apple.
Yeah, especially the I don't know about the navels, like that doesn't sound lovely. But these like thin-skinned, clementine mandarins, I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in both the physiomedicalists and in Chinese medicine. They were really specific about the medicinal properties for a citrus was the bitter mandarin. They actually wanted the bitter in there. And if you do try a navel, they're lovely. There's way less bitter in a navel. I don't think there's a preference as far as flavonoid content, right? But for the digestive components to increase nutrient absorption and turn up digestive fire, that little bit of bitter and the mandarin is the preferable one.
I always just find that mandarins and clementines are more reliably yummy. Like a lot, I don't know. I've had just a lot of bad navels in my life to the point where I'm kind of like, if it's good, great. But it's just, I feel like there's a lot of like kind of tasteless ones. And that could be because I live in the North,
Right.
That's the thing. But
have you tried the caracaras though?
Probably not.
Oh my God. It's a new hybrid. It's like the navel mixed with the blood orange.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably the most delicious. And then the peels on those are the most epic dried peels ever.
Okay, cara, like C-A-R-A?
C-A-R-A.
Okay, I'll look for that this winter. Absolutely.
Throw a tip out if you get on any of those. They're the best.
Nice. Well, I would love to hear what you have going on in your neck of the woods. What are your herbal offerings these days? What you got for us?
I got all kinds of stuff. One of the big thing that's going on in our world right now is that our school is celebrating its 10-year anniversary, which I feel like that's a big moment,
That is. Congratulations.
Thank you. And we've had to go through a big transition. We started out as this little tiny in-person classroom in downtown Nevada City, and then the pandemic hit and we had to move online, and then we grew into this big international school, and now we have an international clinic. And so we decided, well, we've gone through some twists and turns and we've really done some cool stuff, and we're going to do a showcase to celebrate the cool stuff we've been doing. In August, there's August 8th, we have an online virtual event. We're calling it Milestones in Vitalism. And it's going to be a great place to hear some case stories. Some case studies from our clinic are going to be presented. Paul Berkner's going to come and he's going to do a talk on leaky gut, liver fire, and women's health. And then I'm going to talk about the healing crisis, because if you're going to embark on being an herbalist in the vitalist tradition, you encounter the healing crisis. So I thought that'd be a good thing for people to learn about. And then we're going to have a bunch of our students and our alumni offer some presentations. Some case studies from the clinics, what they're doing now that they're outside of Acorn, what are they doing in their lives? And I think that's a really great thing for people to see is what does an herbalist do when they finish herb school? We all find our own way, so it could be an inspiring thing if anybody wants to sign up for that. We do have
Where can they sign up for that? We'll put it in the show notes, but if there's an easy way to share audio as well.
There's a link to it on our website. It's acornherbschool.com/milestones.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get that in the show notes as well.
Thanks.
Fun. Congratulations. It sounds like a wonderful celebration.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a big one. I'm really so proud of our clinicians who've worked so hard in the clinic this year, and some of them are going to be presenting at this event. And some of the case studies that we come across are phenomenal. Like this year, we had 3 cases of SIBO. One of them still under wraps, but one of them completed. She did the whole like diet change, gut healing change, herbal protocols, and she was singing her praises, walked out the door completely symptom free. And
Wow, I love that.
that's what lights me up and keeps me coming to work every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to give a shout out to our clinicians. I'm so proud of them, and what they're doing is so meaningful. So
Well, the world needs more herbalists. That is something I deeply believe. Thanks for all of your work and your school's work and helping more herbalists get out there. Because how many people are there out there with SIBO or fill in the blank form of dis-ease, where herbalism and a holistic vitalist approach could be really the thing that turns things around for them.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's one of the miracles. I don't see, not everyone gets 100% well every time, but it happens often enough that it's
just coming back.
It's like, wow, we get to see that again. Herbs really do work. And it's a joy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Heather. Before you go, I do have one last question for you. Okay. And that is, what do you think herbs are especially good at teaching humans right now?
I think they can be amazing teachers to help us be still. And I think stillness is what the world needs most right now. There's this, overwhelm, overstimulation, the busy modern life that just has us people drowning in too much of everything. Yeah. And it's really like, sitting with the plants, they teach us to be still. They're not going anywhere. They're as still as can be. If you want to have a communication discussion with a plant, you have to be still enough to hear them. And if, to brew tea is a practice in stillness. So I think that all the ways of being in nature and being around plants regulates our nervous systems. And that sense of stillness, I think, is probably one of the most valuable teachings that we can get from plants at this particular point in time. Not that they don't have a million other things they can teach us, but that to me is, I really resonate with that. Let's everyone take a moment to sit outside with a plant on a daily basis. Everyone take a moment to brew a cup of tea on a daily basis. And I think that brings us back to our center. It makes us a little more still. It's taking time for us despite all the chaos. And it really doesn't take long. People have the I can't syndrome because they're too busy. And it's like, but you can. And if you just do this one thing for yourself, you'll actually handle all that other stuff much more easily.
That's so true. There's a saying that says, if you don't have 5 minutes to meditate for an hour. And it's like, which I don't think that is meant to be disempowering, but just kind of like, oh, actually, you need this more. So exactly. But it's kind of a similar thing. And you're so right. When we take that time, it actually fulfills us in such a way that we get to expand. Yeah. Well, with that, I'm going to go sit in my garden. We talked about before we record that I had not spent time in my garden yet today. You had, I hadn't. So I'm going to spend some time in my garden. And then after dinner tonight, I'm going to make a tea and I'm going to pour and put some citrus peel in there. It's going to be lovely.
Thank you so much, Rosalee. What a pleasure it is to chat with you today.
Likewise, Heather. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful. And I feel deeply inspired now about citrus all over again. So thank you.
Sunny and mood boosting. Enjoy your citrus. Thanks, Rosalee.
Thank you. Thanks so much for listening. You can download your illustrated recipe card from today's episode. Just head over to herbswithrosaleepodcast.com or check out the show notes for a link. If you're not already subscribed, I'd love to have you as part of this herbal community so I can deliver even more herbal goodies your way. All right, you've made it to the very end of the show, which means you get a gold star and this herbal tidbit. Well, in Chinese medicine, dried mandarin peel is called chen pi, which literally means aged. Unlike almost everything else in your kitchen, the peel is prized for getting older. The finest grade is aged about 10 years or more because the older the peel, the greater its medicinal value is considered to be. The most treasured peels come from one small district and are sun-dried and aged anywhere from 1 to 30 years, with the oldest commanding these luxurious prices. Well-aged chen pi is treated less like a pantry item and more like a fine tea or wine, something you keep and tend and maybe even pass on. There's something really lovely about that, like the thing that most of us discard, held long enough becomes a treasure. It's really a beautiful continuation to Heather's invitation to stop throwing those peels away. As always, thanks for joining me.